Welcome to the rematch. Point Break versus the Fast and the Furious. You wanted it, and I'm revisiting. Now, these two have a lot in common. Look at the cover. I mean, look how they're looking. You can't tell me that's coincidence. Even the font is sort of similar. So, Point Break taking on the Fast and the Furious. There's some Fast and Furious moments in Point Break. It's a pretty good car chase. Yeah, so the openings are a bit different. There's more development in Point Break. The action starts straight up in the Fast and the Furious. They do a heist. You got three cars trying to stuff a truck. And they even redo the stunt which is seen in Christmas Vacation. The car under the truck. That's pretty cool. And the first heist in Point Break happens. So there's a heist at the start of the movie. You know, some scenes that happen in Point Break are a bit earlier and different order than what they are in Fast and the Furious, but it's pretty much the same thing. So you got the start heist. You know, one gang's taking money, the other gang is taking, software, DVD players, and all other top goods. Then you get introduced to the hero. So Johnny Utah, who is Jack Trevin and John Wick, he's learning to surf. And he tops out and meets the girl in Fast and the Furious. Brian, he's driving, and he spins out, and then he goes, meets the girl. He has a conversation with her at a cafe. The hero meets up with the girl, talks, orders a meal at the cafe in both movies. And then the hero's introduced to the main bad guy. So he sees him on the beach in Point Break and sees him at the cafe in Fast and the Furious. But it's still similar how it works out. And then there's the rest of the team. They cross paths. So there's not a fight with one of the teammates in Point Break, but it's setting up there. But there's a little fight between Vince and Brian, Fast and Furious. But again, very similar. Then you got the rival gang introduction. So this happens when the hero, he goes out. He goes to the race. He goes surfing. Then he gets help with the friend. Bodie helps out during the fight on the beach, and Brian helps Dom. And then they end up having a little confrontation with the gangs. And then it builds up to the raid on their own gang. Now, that happens after the hero gets with the girl. After a house party, which happens in both movies. So there's the gang showdown, house party. And then, of course, the guy gang with girl happens a little bit later, and then the raid. But again, it's very much the same formula. The guy gets with the girl, he wakes up, he goes to the raid. Turns out they were wrong. And then you got the big reveal that the cop was lying and the girl gets upset. Tyler in Point Break shoots at Johnny. He doesn't tell her, she figures it out, but Brian tells Mia. And, there's another raid, another rivalry, or heist, I should say. Then it builds up to the big one, the big heist, which goes wrong in both films. There's the chase, the hero chases the villain, so to speak. It's on foot in Point Break, it's in car, Fast and the Furious. Now, we don't see much of the rival gang in Point Break after the raid, but we see more of Johnny and his cousin. But the other big thing is that one last ride. Bodie wants the wave, Dom wants that quarter mile. So they do it. It happens. Builds up to the big final ride. And when that happens, or after it's over, the hero lets their man go. And something else. There's something else, Of course, Johnny has the Mustang, and Dom's got the Dodge. Mustang and Dodge. Just like the Mustang and Dodge and Bullet. Two fast, furious cars. You can make them in Need for Speed Carbon. Of course, Memphis has Eleanor, the Mustang. Yeah, John Wick ends up with a Mustang. Johnny Utah had the Mustang. Yeah, there's a talk of speed in Point Break. Yeah, you know where this is leading, right? But yeah, so Point Break and Fast and the Furious have those many, many things in common. The cop, pretending not to be a cop, infiltrates one gang, mistakes another gang for doing the crime. The real gang's doing the heists. Cops found out, upsets the girl. There's a raid. May I say that, but just going back down with things. And yeah. So that's the rematch. Buckle up, because there's going to be another ride. The one you've been waiting for. Yeah. You know the one.